For more on all of this, things were looking much better, Mr. Secretary, and thank you for joining us earlier today before Caroline Leavitt said that the president was going to 104% in terms of tariffs against China. Then the market started to swoon after that. How do you see this whole thing between the U.S. and China playing out, because they have their heels dug in?
Yeah, look, President Trump is a master negotiator. We saw this in his first administration. There were some tense moments, but he knew where he was going. He knew where he had leverage, and we got to a great place. I'm highly confident these economic discussions, these tariff negotiations, we're going to end in a very strong place for the American people and the American economy.
All right. So, Mr. Secretary, it's Sandra here. Welcome to the program. So you're about to embark on this big Middle East trip, correct?
Yes.
All right. You're going to, we're told, the UAE first, followed by Saudi Arabia. President Trump has said that he wants to drive down Iran's oil exports to zero. And to do so, he's going to have to up production from some of these other countries. So what's your plan on this trip? What are you going to get done?
Well, on the trip for me, I'm visiting some critical allies for the United States that we want to strengthen relationships with. And most importantly, perhaps, all of the three nations I'm visiting are all very keen to make very large investments into the United States, you know, measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars a year. So this creates American jobs, this creates American prosperity, and this creates more capital flow into our country with key allies for us in the Middle East. And you got to stay close to your allies.
So the price of a barrel of oil right now is about $61. The price of a gallon of gasoline, national average, according to AAA, is $3.24. Depending on where you go, of course, it's either higher or lower than that. What to you would be a good price for a barrel of oil and a good price for a gallon of gasoline?
Oh, look, the marketplace, supply and demand sets prices. So I don't have good prices or bad prices. But the president's agenda, of which I'm 100% aligned, is lower prices are better. You know, we're a major producer, so you've got to balance producers and consumers. But with Trump's agenda, he's lowering the cost to produce oil and natural gas in the United States. That necessarily means more supply, lower break-evens, and therefore lower cost to consumers and lower cost to businesses. So I'm quite pleased with where we are today. And if energy prices go even lower, all the better.
Well, if you're guaranteeing it, right? Oil and gas prices are going to go lower?
Oh, like I said, I'm not going to predict prices, but growing supply and growing confidence in investment, that gives people that grows supply. Okay. We're going to see demand growth as well as people invest in the United States, as people start new businesses and hire new employees. So we're going to see growth in energy demand, too, and that'll push energy prices the other way. But I think on average, you will see much lower energy prices during the Trump administration than you saw during the Biden administration, and much stronger economic activity, much stronger net flows of capital into our country.
Well, that's a prediction.
All to the benefit of Americans.
It is a bit of a prediction.
That's a prediction.
That's a prediction. I wanted to ask you real quick, Mr. Secretary, if I could, the coal announcement that's coming up in about 40 minutes or so. It's potentially a good bridge to try to get more electricity or keep more electricity online while other sources of energy are developed. But mining more coal and burning more coal, is that a long-term solution?
Oh, look, coal has been the largest source of electricity on the planet for 100 years, and it will be for decades more to come. The belief that, you know, coal is somehow going to sunset and be gone in a decade or two, that's just not happening. That's just, China has under construction today more coal plants under construction than the entire capacity in the United States. So pretending that, you know, closing coal plants in the United States is going to change global greenhouse gas emissions, that's just nonsense. What it is going to do is drive electricity prices higher for American consumers, destabilize our grid, and make it more expensive to produce steel and cement and these other key ingredients in the United States. President Trump's bringing back common sense, and I think everyone wins from that.
Okay. Chris Wright, always appreciate when you can join us. Thanks for coming back on.
Thanks, Mr. Secretary.
All right.
You bet. Thanks for having me.